Hey, happy KOTG Tuesday.
What's up? What's up, guys?
Yo, 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 yo,
Hey,
yo, yo.
everybody.
Just chatting with some people in the chat, man.
Hey-o.
We got Long Kirikos from Scotland with us tonight.
Middle of the night. Oh, man. Turf
What's up,
tamer,
Yeah.
Harry Lawn,
Hey,
Turf
turf
tamer?
nerd, golf
Golf
course
course
lawn.
lawn. What's up, guys?
Jason's in here, wrestling with my lawn. Man,
We got a special shout out to
Radiance.
Anthony Tolles. He's a Spotify listener. So
that's awesome.
enjoy you jumping on the live cast with us this time.
What you holding there,
Up on this
Brent?
low.
Oh, I'm rocking my babies. This is my fall plans right here, kid.
Oh, man.
Gotta rock them to sleep, keep them happy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Taking
The
over.
germination rate high.
It looks pretty
yeah,
comfy.
absolutely. Yeah, I talk to them. That's a thing. I don't know if anybody else is knows this, but Mizzou put out a study that if you talk to your grass seed, it'll grow better, higher germination rate.
.edu.
.edu.
You're just all right, little buddy's going to the ground soon. Get ready.
Going in the grounds, little fellas.
You play Beethoven overnight.
Play
it'll
some
grow
music.
twice as fast. Yeah.
Welcome,
Oh,
everybody.
man.
Welcome to the shenanigans. And like you said, Brian, we got at least one guy. Anthony jumped into the chat and he's like, "Hey, Spotify listener here. I love that. Thanks for joining us, man. That's awesome. That's what we want to do. We want to increase engagement. And some people aren't going to be able to hop on the live chat every week, and some people are going to hop in. When you are here, welcome and thanks for joining us. Join the chat, join the conversation. As you guys can see, we're a little light this evening with our co-hosts. So we'll be looking to you guys to give us some good talking points. So definitely, engage in the chat, everybody. Let us know what you're doing. And, if you got something that you want to talk about, that you're interested in bringing to the table, by all means, that's what we are here for. That's what we want to do. It's what we love doing, especially on a night like tonight where we have, kids baseball games and, a bunch of other stuff that's kind of holding our vacations, things holding people up. So welcome. Episode 29. What's it about, fellas? What are we doing?
Well,
hold up. We got some business to do first.
yeah, we got to do it.
Oh, yeah, we can't forget that.
Get a little thirsty.
Oh,
Nate's not here, so I got you,
there
my
you
bro.
go, ripping the bush light.
All right,
I've
grab
got
your
to put a
glass.
sticker on here.
Let's keep off the grass.
Yes.
And I just want to give a little plug
It's cold.
to our other stuff that we got going on. So, Anthony said we are not only a live cast, but we also have a podcast. So for those people that are listening on the podcast, Spotify, Google, Apple, iHeartRadio, welcome. Thanks for listening. But if you want, you can jump in on Tuesday nights. We do a live cast here on YouTube. There's just 10 DIY lawn enthusiasts. We like to sit around and talk about grass and get some information from you guys in the live chat. So come on over to YouTube. We are Keep Off the Grass live cast on there. So please like and subscribe. We also have an Instagram page. It's at keep.off.the.grass. And head on over to our website, KOTG.live. You can get on there and see our old live casts. You can send us message. You can get onto our merch site. We got some cool shirts and glasses and mugs and stuff. You can pick some of those up. We appreciate the support. And you can find out a little bit more about us as the cast, where we're from, what our grass types are. We always like to mention our deck sizes. And so yeah, come on over and join the fun. So, but yeah, tonight, what are we talking about?
Spreading our seed all over the place.
Fall plans. Woohoo!
Fall
Big
2021.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So who's?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm seeing a lot of people on Instagram right now. A lot of our followers, I guess, they have been talking about their fall plans. So I'm seeing a lot of seeding and leveling and all that good stuff. So I'd like to hear what's going on.
It seems like for a lot of us cool season guys, even, no matter where you are, like now is the time to start thinking about, what's your game plan if you haven't already? Yeah.
I see a lot of
I
guys
actually,
going full reno this year. A lot of I just keep seeing it over and over. It's like every day somebody else is killing that stuff off, and it just makes me kind of it keeps like itching me. It's like, it's like poison ivy. It just kind of like I can't stop. As much as I keep telling myself like, no, I'm not gonna do it. It's like poison ivy. It's just like you can't stop like thinking about that itch, and it's like I have an itch to do it, and I'm not gonna do it.
So if you're
I'm not going to. I don't have the time this year, but I just keep going. Like, man, I want to do that. Like, I keep seeing dudes killing off their yard. I'm like, I want to start fresh because I know that dude's lawn is going to look absolutely bonkers. It's going to look bananas, right? Like in the springtime, and mine's going to just look mediocre, like it always does.
What would you change on your front yard? Is that you're talking about doing a reno? If you were to do a reno, what would you change up your grass type? Or are you looking at just leveling?
Yeah, definitely level it out. It's kind of hard to tell in some pictures, but it's got a little bit of a wave to it. And part of that I can't totally level out. I would have to kind of get creative, I think, because that one low spot, it's kind of like if you're looking at my house, it's to the right of that tree. That one kind of spot that looks a little bit low, that's actually where my water meter is. There's an in-ground digital water meter. So I actually can't like just dump anything in there and fill it up and level it out, because that's the level that they have that water meter at. So I can't really do too much there. I would kind of have to get creative and like kind of spread it out or lessen that. But yeah, I mean, I would like to level it out. And then I've kind of had dreams of doing something that I can real mow. I would love to do that, but I don't think it's going to happen. Not this year, at least. It's not going to happen this fall. The big thing that I'm doing this fall is I've talked about it before. I talked about it on the Tuckahoe episode, I think, that my in-laws moved, and their house that they bought a couple years ago, they've been renovating kind of like on the weekends. That whole front lawn, I'm going to be working on that this fall. That's my big project. So I'm going straight from nothing, because there's not really a lot there, and there's a whole bunch of weeds and stuff. So I'm going to kill all those weeds off probably this weekend. I'm going down there. So I'm probably going to smoke all those weeds off and anything that is growing, and then start leveling it out.
What are you going to do?
I haven't decided yet. I think what I'm probably going to do is I'm probably just going to go buy a couple hose end sprayers of Image and just blast it with that. Cause that stuff gets the job done, man. Like I spot sprayed some clover with Image. I had a little bit left in a hose end sprayer. And I didn't feel like, mixing up, triclopyr and, quinclorac and, surfactant. And I just didn't have the time to do it. So I was like, give it a little shake. I was like, oh, there's some left in here. So I went ahead and just sprayed that, and bro, it like nuked the whole area around the clover. It says it doesn't kill grass, but I'm going to tell you what, man, after my experience in the spring, blanket spraying that stuff on the front, and then, spot spray, I got some spots in the back. I'll put them in my story tomorrow morning before I go to work, take some pictures, and you guys can see it in the story. Like, it's smoked off the grass. It's smoked off the grass, bro.
See, I bought some quinclorac to use on this new lawn of ours. And I was thinking of myself, I got to figure out all these rates and stuff, and I got to go get some measuring cups and everything. So I know last week we talked a little bit about, dipping our toes from granular to liquid, but I'm going to be working on that this week. I'm nervous, but I'm also excited to see how it goes. There's a ton of weeds in this yard that we moved into.
You said you are going to liquid, or are you doing some liquid?
Yeah. I'm gonna, I got the Petra sprayer, so I'm gonna try do the liquid weed killer. I think this lawn that we moved into, this house that we're at now, I think it's got to be, I don't know, 0.75% weeds. I mean, 75% weeds. I mean, really, I could see some grass in there, and I'm sure it's tall fescue, but man, all sorts of weeds. So I'm going to try this out, see how it goes. I might be bothering Sean or Oli about rates and how much to dilute and how much to pour in there. But I hope to do that by the end of the week. I just got done mowing the place yesterday. It was a lot of work, man. It was thick and heavy and overgrown and nasty, and crabgrass everywhere. Those crabgrass stalks get real thick when they're mature. Oh man. But I'm excited.
Start all over, bro. Smoke it all off and start it all over.
I mean, so that's a lot of work. We're hoping to only be here temporarily. I mean, we're using this time to find a more permanent, place to raise these kids of ours. So I don't want to invest too much time and effort into it. So I'm gonna try to preserve as much as I can. But yeah, like Brent was saying, if I put it down, it smokes off some of the grass. I mean, I'm gonna overseed heavy, so I won't be too worried about it.
Just don't.
And he just said that you
platinum seed.
Kenny just said combine tenacity and quinclorac.
Ooh.
Yeah,
What do we think about that? That sounds
that's what I do.
lit. Yeah.
Tenacity and accelerate.
Okay.
Mix them up. I actually just I blanket sprayed my front lawn. I'm dealing with some bent grass, some other weird stuff, and yeah, I'm overseeing my front. That's what I did. Tenacity and accelerate.
The big thing that he's saying there is you don't have any wait time.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff you got to wait 28, 30 days before you can seed, or it'll interfere with germination.
But yeah, quinclorac and mesotrione, you can seed right then.
I'm pretty sure
I was thinking about doing getting the tenacity, the Anderson's tenacity weed and feed or whatever, the mesotrione with the starter fert when I do my overseeding this fall. Yeah, I mean, that was my big question too, is because I really want to try to smoke off some of these weeds, but I also don't want to have to wait until late September to be able to seed. I want to do it earlier in September. So I was excited when I saw that shorter window to wait from when you apply it to when you can seed.
Oli, I thought about applying the I don't know if you ever heard of it, but the pile driver. And that's Pilex and Accelerate. Yeah, they call it it's drive accelerate. So Pilex
Sounds like a drink
drive
you'd be
accelerate.
drinking.
Yeah,
Pile driver. I was thinking
energy
something
drink.
talking about dry as far as active ingredients, quinclorac.
Yeah, it's in there.
Yeah, because on the label of Pilex, you have the option of mixing it with triclopyr, or you have the option of mixing it with drive, which is quinclorac.
Yeah.
Yep.
What you eating over there, Oli?
Man, I got some tenderloin, bacon wrapped tenderloin, some smashed potatoes.
I love the smashed potatoes.
Yep, like the bowl, smashed them. Bacon.
That's for dessert.
Awesome.
You need some tacos right now, bro.
Had tacos earlier.
Yeah, I
Hey,
thought
so
about
Lush,
getting some tacos today.
what do you guys do in the fall, Lush? What's your game plan like going into it? Because you're kind of thriving on the warm, and then you go into the fall. Is it anything?
Well, it's for me, it's a little different, bro, because in South Texas, it rarely gets cold. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like growing season all year long, except for like the last week of January and like 2 or 3 weeks in February. That's it. So down here we're growing. Now, if you go a little bit north, like San Antonio area, which is like 4 hours from where I'm at, they do get some cold temperatures up there. So that'll be a little different. You can't really do much up there. But me, I'm sticking to my plan, which is spoon feeding. I was gonna do some leveling, but man, I don't know. I've been busy with work, so I don't know if I'll have time for that. But for my backyard, I am planning to do to add on some concrete. I might have a little project for I don't know. I might go Bermuda in the backyard, or I don't know. Change it up.
Do it.
You would seed Bermuda in the fall? Is that what you would do?
No, I would sod. I have no patience, man, for seeding, especially down there.
But you would sod in the
Yeah.
fall? That would be the best time for you?
It's hot over here, bro. So you'll have no trouble, growing it.
He's literally like 10 minutes from
Yep.
Mexico.
Yeah.
What's the temperatures like in the fall for you?
We're still in the 90s.
Oh,
Um,
jeez.
Actually, Red, I believe Brent's parents are from Corpus Christi, and they have the same temperature where I'm at, so he knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I mean, it gets a little cooler there because it's still like an hour and a half away.
Pretty much, but
It's still an hour and a half north, but I mean, it gets a little cooler there. It dips down into the 60s.
Yeah, but it's very, very rare, and we don't see dormancy stuff like that down here. I don't know what the hell happened this year with the freaking Texas freeze that caught me off guard. That really messed up things around here, especially with ornamentals like, or even palm trees and beautiful plants like that.
No, it destroyed my parents' whole backyard, bro.
Yeah, that pretty much killed everything.
So my folks have like kind of like a grove in their backyard. They don't have any grass whatsoever, but like you kind of walk out there and it's like, little crushed stone paths and stuff, but it goes back to like the lime trees and the lemon bushes and the palm trees and everything died. Like all their fruit trees, their banana tree, man, all that stuff died. It was heartbreaking when I was like, my dad was showing me on a Skype one night. He was like, look at this. He's like, everything's gone. I was like, wow. Like all those fruit trees that's taken them, I don't know, 10 years, 15 years to grow.
Yeah, acres and acres, man. I've seen them because I actually treat lawns where they grow oranges and all that stuff, and it's all gone, man. It was pretty bad. But like I said, I don't have too much in mind. Like I said, I was gonna do some leveling in the front yard, but I don't know yet. I'm sticking to my plan, which is spoon feeding and just treat the soil. That's it.
So David, do you have people in the area that do like overseeding like we do in Arizona, where you just grow grass all year round?
People are very impatient in South Texas, bro. They're very impatient. So they don't have the time to seed Bermuda or common Bermuda, whatever seed they can get. I did it like 3-4 years ago, and the guy was like, "Man, I mean, all the money I'm putting into this, I would have just bought sod." I'm like, "Yeah, man, but you asked me." He actually bought the seed. I noticed it was some cheap brand. It wasn't even Scott's. He bought it from a local ag store, and it was actually but I did the basic peat moss and starter for, I believe it's an 1824 or something from Lesco that I used.
Yeah, Lesco. I've used Lesco. It's good stuff.
Yeah, it was good stuff, and we treated the soil. It took a while to germinate, but it ended up being nice. It was just, like I said, it was like about 3-4 years ago. I won't never do it again. It's too much time for me, man. It really is. I'd rather sod. And people down here know what I'm talking about because it's too hot to be outside, and then
yeah, no fun.
So something I've been thinking about doing is doing a little leveling in the front yard, but I don't know if I want to start doing the sand thing yet. But when I got my grass, I sod it. It was all sod. Put it in. Watered it for 3 weeks. Everything was great. Roots developed and set in, and then you're supposed to start cutting back the watering, but my grass is growing so fast that I had to kind of jump in a little bit too soon and start mowing because it was probably 8 inches tall. But the problem is that the soil was still too moist.
Yeah.
So I ended up putting indentions, footprints pretty much like all over the front yard until I realized how much I was sinking in. So every time I'm mowing the front yard, I just kind of fill these footprints that have settled in. So I kind of want to fill those in, but I'm not sure I want to start the sand process yet. So maybe I have to do some topsoil or something. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I've been thinking about doing some seeding in the back, but I showed some before and after pictures, and I was kind of surprised how well that Kentucky bluegrass is filling in all those pea spots, man. So
It's awesome.
It's doing pretty good back there. I don't know how much I'll actually need to do some overseeding.
Do you already have seed if you decide to do that, or would you have to go buy more?
Yeah, so I got some of the Barenbrug Turf Saver RTF. It's tall fescue, and so that also kind of concerns me of mixing the two. So I'd either have to totally kill off the Kentucky bluegrass or you know, because then like tall fescue is supposed to be like 4 or 5 inches tall, but I like to keep the Kentucky bluegrass down to like 2 inches.
Yeah.
So I'm not too sure I want to do anything like that yet. So it'd most likely be a probably leveling reno for me this year.
Some of
I wanna-
them tall fresh
wanna-
skis
I want
are
to hear from
happier not as tall.
What's that, Oli?
Yeah.
Some of the tall fescues are happier not as tall.
Oh, really?
Yep. Some of them, like in their prime, is between 3.5.
So how do you know? Is it going to say?
Look up the name of it, the cultivar that's
Okay.
in there, and then a lot of times it'll tell you, where it's happy, and in other words, it'll say like it's stress tolerant and dark green, and it'll tell you like when you look up Google that particular cultivar,
Yeah.
and you get the description of it.
So I had this really big dead spot back in the backyard, and it was because I had some fake grass back there when it was just dirt, and that's where the dog would urinate, was all over on this fake grass. And so I took that mat off and then put sod down, and so the urine was still right there in the soil, and so it really killed it off. So what I did was I just took my water hose and just flooded that area and just kept it wet to make it all soak down into the ground. And man, that stuff, like Kentucky bluegrass, is just taking off in there. So I think I'm gonna do, because I've seen some people, they just keep a hose, with a sprayer all set up, turned on, ready to go. So when your dog goes to the bathroom, you just take the hose over there and just run it for 30 seconds to a minute just to flush it down. So I don't know, I might just keep trying that for now.
Yeah, I've heard of people doing that. That's just like such a pain, because then it's like you got to go out every time with your dog. You can't just like let the dog outside and be like, all right, yeah, go. Because that's what I do. I just let the dog out. Like, all right,
Yeah.
she barks when she wants to come back in.
Right.
So that's a whole other. But I think if I had to do it, I probably would. I got a small dog, and I never had any issues with her urine in the backyard. It doesn't kill anything. So
Well, we just got this one spayed, so I don't know if that's gonna. I've heard that kind of changes chemically around, so who knows? We'll see what happens.
that's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So
Makes some fat.
speaking of leveling, you had mentioned earlier, Brian, this place we're at now, it's got a pretty small front yard. It's like a very, very small patch, and then it's got two little parkway strips of grass. But the grass is all uneven, and you can see the sidewalk. There's like a gap, a lip there, So I want to fill in with some dirt. I thought this would be a good test plot to see if I can do topsoil lawn leveling, and see how that goes. Like a small area, so I don't try to overdo it or spend too much money if I mess it up. But I think I'm going to give that a shot this fall.
Masonry stand or something like that to level it out.
Yeah.
Hey, go-
Mixture, like a 50-50 mix is good.
As long as it's fine, it's not doesn't have a lot of junk in there, like little small pieces of rock and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You just don't want to, going back to talking about leveling. I mean, this could be a topic too, but you don't want to put sand down and then the next year later put topsoil on top of it. I mean, so if you're going to do sand, stay committed to sand and just keep going with sand. So, I mean, if you're trying to grade something, get soil, get topsoil, but don't put the sand on until you're going to stay committed to sand and don't need any more topsoil. Because you can create some big problems with that.
Oh yeah, I'd imagine so.
I want to hear from the fescue freak. What do you have in mind this year, Oli? I know you're always working on some badass projects, but
I saw him measuring something out on the front earlier.
Yeah, I got the rock situations to take care of.
Mm-hmm.
But if things stay like they are right now, if I don't have anything unexpected or any kind of breakouts, man, everything else is really thick. I don't know. Now I am flirting with the idea of mixing in some bluegrass. I've never done that.
Oh shoot! Nice.
So the SS 365.
Yeah.
Where would you put it?
Everywhere.
Everywhere?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mix it in with the fescue.
Is that you want there where you had that granite thing, piece of rock you had?
Well, the big one out at the road is going to be Barenbrug RTF.
Okay.
The smaller 3 has already been committed to just the Mountain View blend. That 3 cultivars from them.
Mhm.
But the rest of it, I'm thinking about working in just like 10% or something of bluegrass.
Oh shoot.
I've never
my-
thought I would do that, but now that's what I'm thinking. Just far as get a little bit of color from it, get some repairing from it.
Yeah.
Man, that little part where you're working at in the front, and that's asking for a putting green, bro. Green, man. But that'll look big.
You get all that leaf compost worked in and stuff.
Yeah, yep. I'm gonna get some more. Let's see, tomorrow's Wednesday. I'm gonna get some more of that Thursday. You can only get it on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I need to get back on that a little bit.
So how does Kentucky bluegrass do down there in your area? Is that pretty common? People have it?
Well, from talking to them at Mountain View, they've really worked on those new cultivars, and supposedly they're doing really good here. I have no experience with it. I want to try it. I've always sort of shied away because, my thought was, like you said earlier, bluegrass wants to be short, fescue wants to be tall. You'd never see it. So,
Man, I wish.
Talk with him. Plus, I want to start mowing lower than what I do. It's hard to walk in, for one, when it's that tall. I feel like there's more area for disease to breed and moisture to stay when it's that tall.
Mm-hmm.
And I just like it better around 3.5.
What do you have it at right now?
It's probably 4.25.
Okay.
Shit.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say
Stuff.
Kentucky bluegrass is like meant to be cut short. I mean, yeah, it is, and a lot of people real mow it. But I mean, if you look it up, I mean, this is me off the top of my head, but I mean, it probably says 2 to 2.5, 3. I mean, I know a lot of people who have Kentucky bluegrass lawns around me. I mean, it's just like native, and I mean they're cutting it at 3.5 inches, and it's looking good.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one thing that I have been warned about is on the bluegrass is it takes way more water than fescue does.
Oh, really?
Mm.
Well, and you were what, 200 something thousand gallons?
200 last month was 212,000.
Wow.
Yes.
Now, Oli,
We
is
finally
that
got some rain now?
so? Is that just the plant, or does it have more shallow roots, or why
Yes,
does it require?
That's what
more?
it is. It has a shallower root than fescue would produce.
Yeah. You can
I
see
don't know,
that.
my-
Well, I was surprised after talking to Tuckahoe. I think it was you that asked those guys what height they were cutting their turf fields at. When they were farming their sod. So I thought that was kind of interesting that they said they actually keep it pretty low, comparatively, at least lower than we keep ours.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah,
So a
makes
lot
sense.
of people in the chat are talking about 365 SS, man. It's
That's supposedly the cat's meow.
yeah. Well, I mean, we heard it from Mountain View when they were on, and then we heard it from Tuckahoe when they were on. So, does anybody in here have 360? I know Sean has a little bit. Brent,
He had
did you have?
bought something that they had put on some field, but that's my goal is to. And the crazy thing is 50 pounds is going to cover the 3 acres. So that's going to be fun, especially if I don't overseed. I don't know how that's going to happen because if you overseed, you can just blend it into what you're using.
Yeah. Wait, house is going to cover 3 acres?
The 50,000, the 50 pounds.
He's just gonna really lightly sprinkle it on. Only wants to put about 10% of it down.
He's gonna sprinkle it around by hand.
Yeah, he's gonna do that little
off the elbow.
I know Naked Nate Stripe Life was talking about getting 365 and overseeding with that.
Okay.
Speaking of
Naked Nate, is that what you said?
Yeah.
That's the after hours.
He's never been
What?
naked. He just it just
Man,
rhymes.
Naked
It just
Nate.
sounded cool. I don't know.
One thing that may work out is I'm supposed to get to demo one of those Stinger core pluggers, the ride-on deal.
Oh yeah.
And hopefully if it's got a seed box, maybe it has a low enough setting that as corn with it, maybe it can, just sprinkle the 360.
Do you have a dethatcher, Oli?
I built a rake and I can pull it behind my tractor. I took a bunch of belling tines, like that would be on a beller, and put them on a rake, and I can pull it and do the dethatching.
And it does a good job.
Sounds like kind of like
a real good job.
Most.
Yeah, it's kind of like how Zach had.
Man, I kind of want to wish Cody was here because he's in northern part of Texas. Get pretty cold up there, so I wanted to know his plans up there because I know their season is coming close to an end too.
Yeah, I think he let his Bermuda go dormant right over the winter. So
yeah, his climate is totally different than my complete different. I wanted to see what he does. The audience can see, from our Dallas folks can see what Cody has in mind. But
yeah,
we want
like I said, like in Arizona. Oh, you want to do long of the week?
Ooh, yeah.
You could do long of the week. That's a great idea.
Oh man, this was long overdue.
It's gonna be a good one.
We got a good one this week. I saw him in the chat.
He's in here. He's here. We see you in the chat.
Where's he at?
Is that where we need to do?
Yeah.
That's canceled.
Canceled. We gotta come up with our own. We gotta come up with a sound effect for that.
Oh, I got it. Hold on.
Wait, I got a couple sound effects from last week.
This is ours, right?
These nuts. Got him.
It's perfect. It's perfect. I like it. All right, who's got it? Who's gonna make the big announcement this week?
Do it.
All right. So,
or Oli,
after much debate and after seeing, Rudy Lonco making some fire reels and stories, riding lawnmowers and what else did he do?
Championship belts,
making prank phone calls and having wrestling belts.
Oh man,
he's been unseated this week by none other than Mr. Kenny Cooper.
Ooh, dang!
Look at that.
Double singles.
Diamonds.
Diamonds. Oh, look at this here.
Mm.
Oh, you can't see. Never mind.
That's awesome. Good property too, man. That's so nice.
To have all that.
That's a good palette.
I'm not going to speak for him, but speaking of Kentucky bluegrass, I think he has Kentucky bluegrass and perennial rye, and I know he doesn't cut it. He's not real mowing it. He's not cutting it super short.
I think he cut somewhere between 3 and 3.5.
Yeah, he'd probably tell us.
I don't know. That was just always what I had thought. That bluegrass was a lower growing grass, and I always thought, why would you mix it with fescue? You'll never see it, but apparently, I was thinking wrong the whole time.
Yeah, he had some cool drone shots and stuff the last couple of weeks.
Man, yeah.
Oh yeah, Kenny, you've been putting together some great reels, man. Really just fire reels with that drone. I mean, some of those, and you've ever since I've been following you, the pattern's outlandish. Stuff that you come up with. So well deserved, my man. Well deserved.
I love the overlapping stripes and all that cool stuff around the trees.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The one up there in the top right when he was doing those multiple kind of UFO, crop circle
ripples
ones.
in a pond. It's cool.
Super cool. Looks like something out of Signs. I love it.
Yeah, I respect the big lawn. Tough to maintain a big lawn, when you got a little front lawn, little backyard. When you got a big yard like that, that's respect when you got like that.
Kenny and Oli and Jason Gooden, you guys got all the respect from me because I only got 5,000 square foot and it still looks like dog crap. So you guys on fire. Well done.
So Kenny said is 3 inches. So that's at 3 inches.
All right.
Oh, it's grass?
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's talking about grass.
think so.
Yeah. So hey, congrats, Kenny. So you get to join that elite club of KOTG Lawn of the Week. So
Yeah.
we're not expecting any championship belts or anything like that, but we do appreciate the shout outs and the push for it. So passing that torch along.
They're gonna be on social media bragging that. Trust me.
Yep. Hey, reach out to us, Kenny. You know the drill. Reach out to us on the page and get you some Pro Pete for that front lawn, for that little putting green that you got out front.
Buddy.
Yeah.
Get some of that greens grade.
What's the size of Kenny's lawn, though? Do you guys know? That's huge, man.
Bigger than mine.
How big are you, Kenny?
What are you working with there, brother?
Yeah, I have no idea. Looks can be deceiving.
I think he's somewhere around 2 acres or a little more.
What does he use to spray? He has a permagreen or like a Z spray or something like that, or what is that?
He's got a permagreen and he's also using a tractor.
Oh shoot! Kind of like Zach or what? Like you, Zach?
No, I'm not sure what he. I have no idea, to be honest.
Let's ask him. What you using, Kenny?
Deck size.
Yeah,
Zach, what are you doing this fall? What do you got going on in the works?
My front lawn, I got a lot of bent grass invasion, so I am going to be beating it up. I actually, like I said, I just did a tenacity accelerate blanket spray. You know, I don't recommend that for everybody, but you know, if you're comfortable doing it. And then I actually even some of the spots I knew where the bent grass was heavy, and I actually I started gliding them off, and it's some heavy bent grass invasion. But on my backyard, just to get to the flip side of it, I'm not going to overseed at all. Last fall, I didn't aerate. I dethatched heavy and I overseeded. It came in great. It's looking pretty thick, pretty nice right now. So I'm not going to overseed it. I actually think if I overseeded it, I may do some damage because it may get too thick. But I understand putting in new cultivars, you know, they're going to get a darker green color, a better color, better disease resistance. But however, I just seeded a lot of it last year. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to aerate it this year, and then I'm going to take advantage of that and put down a pre-emergent in preparation of some POA, some chickweed, and just I might as well, you know, putting down a pre-emergent in the fall sets you up to prevent spring weeds. It's not going to prevent me from crabgrass. It's going to get me from the spring weeds. The winter weeds is what you call it. So I'm going to aerate it. I'm going to fill them holes with a bunch of goodies for the soil while I got it. And then that time I would be spending on seeding it. I'm going to be mowing it crazy, getting it thick.
Getting it up, yeah.
And if I got to spray some weeds, I'm going to nuke out all my weeds in the fall and not worry about the seed, not worry about watering. Yeah, that's my plan.
Does anybody else, like, does their heart kind of ache a little bit when you have to wait that 4 weeks to cut your grass in the fall when like things are looking good and the weather's nice and you're like, oh, I'm not going to sweat my balls off out here. Like, oh, it's hard to just like, oh, I want to get out there and do it, you know, right. But it's got to be done.
Yeah,
so that'll be nice. That'll be good. Keep cutting.
So yeah, I'm still going to dethatch heavy. I got a pull behind dethatch rake. I'm going to go over a couple of passes. I got a big 52-inch lawn sweeper. I'm going to pull behind, which I didn't have last year. Last year I did it by hand, so I can just sweep up all the debris, all the clippings, and I'm going to thin it out real good. And then I'm going to do that to my whole lawn. So especially the front with the bent grass to kind of break up the stolons and that above ground root system it's got going. It's like a web. So
nice.
Yeah,
that's what I got rolling.
Yeah, that'll be good. That's kind of where I'm at too, is you know, I pulled out that Sunjo machine today. I put the scarifier attachment on there, and I went over it pretty lightly, like just enough. A couple people were asking me on my Instagram page, like what setting I use. I don't remember the number of the settings. I kind of just, open the back and look in and see kind of where I'm at. I did it today. So it was just barely scraping the soil, like right on top of the soil. And then, I did one pass just to get a bunch of crap out because I had so much stuff die off. I had a lot of die off this year. And, I put it on my story the other night, just straw, just like super dead stuff. So I hand raked that whole area out with a garden rake. And then I went over the whole yard, the whole front, with the machine and the scarifier cartridge and just kind of pulled a bunch of that crap out. But before I overseed it, I'm going to go through, I'm going to slam that thing all the way to the ground. And I'm just going to rip it up. I'm going to rip the crap out of all of it. And, I'm going to do, double crisscross pattern on it and try to get it, like just break up some of the soil, like try to cut up some of the roots and, stress it out a little bit. And then I'm going to go through and aerate it, overseed it, and go from there. So
how well do you think that actually the Sunjo works? Because I'm thinking about getting one, but every time I look at it, it just feels like it looks like it's maybe 5 pounds and it would probably bounce all around when it hits a bump or something.
It's pretty light. But I'll tell you what, man, for the price, I really don't think that you can beat that thing. I mean, I think it's like, what is it, like $140 or something on Amazon? I don't remember. I bought it last year. But for the price, I really don't think you can beat it. And like, I've used it like twice a year. I used it twice last year on my yard. My neighbor used it like twice on his. I lent it out to like 2 buddies at work that have used it 2 or 3 times. And it's still holding up. So, I mean, I think even though it's plastic and even though it's, electric and stuff, like for $140, yeah, it gets the job done. And I'll tell you what, it's way better than trying to, hand rake it out with a thatch rake or even a garden rake or anything like that.
How short do you cut your grass when you're going to use that? Do you? So I don't have the Sunjo. I have the Greenworks, but I think they're pretty similar. Devices, and I feel like the first time I used it, I didn't cut my grass low enough. Like the tines couldn't get down in there deep enough. So I feel like you have to really have it real low, at least in the yard when I did it the first time around. And I think I dropped the deck almost as low as it could go. And I actually pulled up a lot better stuff. So I made a video about it and I was like, man, I don't really like this thing, but after getting to use it more. So yeah, they are pretty light, but I feel like if you cut the grass short enough, they'll pull up a lot, especially if you have a lot too.
Yeah, if you're using the one with the tines, if you're using the dethatcher attachment, yeah, you gotta make sure that your grass is pretty low, because otherwise, like if you just keep your grass, like I didn't cut my grass before I did it today, because I wanted to let it grow. So, I spray some micros and some root hume on there, and I'm gonna let it go until I'll probably cut it like maybe Thursday night. Maybe Friday morning I'll go over it and give a mow, but I'm going to keep it high. But if I had done that with the, dethatching cartridge that has the, the little tines on it, I basically would have just been ripping up green grass. It wouldn't have really gotten down too far. No matter, even if I dropped it low, it would have just kind of ripped up a whole bunch of green stuff too. So that's why I switched it out for the scarifier one, because I feel like,
I guess, maybe mine doesn't have that.
Yeah, that does a great job, because the Sunjo comes with 2 attachments. It comes with 2 cylinders for underneath, so you can unbolt. That's
why they cost more. I should have got the Sunjo.
Man, that extra I didn't realize $30.
Yeah, so they just spin around, like they're almost like little knives, kind of cutting through. Yeah. Is that what that is? Yeah. Mm-hmm. See that we just have the little tine things, which exactly what you're saying. They'll rip up green grass. Yeah. So I get what you're saying now. That makes more sense to me. I was like, shit, Brent, what are you doing? Cutting it super low and just getting the tines up?
Like, I didn't cut it at all. Yeah, it's probably I didn't mow. I haven't mowed it in like a week, over a week, because I'm working on a remodel in my house and I was busy all weekend doing sheetrock. So I didn't even get to mow this weekend. So I was like, you know what? I'm not even gonna cut it because it's probably at little, it's like probably 3.25, 3.5 inches right now, probably about 3.5. And I was like, I'm not even gonna mow it right now. I'm just gonna let it go and use the scarifier test. So it's a lot better of like at getting in between the longer blades. And I think that I like that attachment a lot better. Especially for overseeding, because basically I'm going to run it in a crisscross pattern, and it's almost, it's basically going to act a lot like kind of like a slit seeder almost.
Put
poor
some
man's
friction on
slit
the
seeder.
ground. Yeah,
Poor
exactly. Yeah,
man's
get
slit
the
seeder.
Never had that much thatch buildup, Brent, because that was a lot, bro. That
Yeah,
was a lot.
there was a lot of dead crap in there. There's a lot of dead stuff in there.
Saw that, man. It was, man.
I mean, there, it's a lot of those dead seed stalks, a lot of dead grass too. I mean, just stuff that has died off. I mean,
die off. Yeah.
Because I don't have irrigation. It's like as much as I try and like, I'm like, oh yeah, I'll get out there and move the sprinklers around. Like, listen, doesn't happen, on the schedule that I would like it to, right? So I definitely know that, just kind of as a general rule, that my lawn is always underwatered. So
Speaking of irrigation, I know Bill made a badass I think it was like a 3-part TikTok video or something like that.
Yeah.
And that's pretty nice, bro. For you folks up there that want to keep it, low cost irrigation. Bill did an awesome video on that.
Yeah, it's definitely like an option if you're not planning on being there and don't want to put anything permanent. It keeps the grass green as a temporary option is how I look at it. Like, yeah, definitely low cost and it gets the job done. Yeah,
dude, that was badass. When I saw it, I was like, man.
Those sprinkler heads are nice because they don't sit on the lawn. That's my favorite part about them is you can adjust them, but they're on a spike, so you don't have this big metal thing creating like this imprint of yellow sprinkler sled thing. Anyway, yeah, I like them.
And then you have Old over here with the big sprinkler.
Oh man, the beast.
60 psi's all over the place.
Hey, how do you guys spread your seed? Speaking of next week,
got to put the work in. It's only one way to do it.
I mean, I don't know.
It'll be a good.
I don't know. We got
West, man.
We got a pretty fire guest next week. Speaking of spreaders,
Huh.
It'll be an awesome one. I'm pretty excited. Ryan actually made it happen.
We can have.
what do we got next week?
Should we tell the people?
Let's tell them.
I think the live chat's waiting to hear about this. So, for those that are watching right now, the live chat, we have got Spiker Spreaders coming on the live cast next week. They're going to join us and they're going to talk to us about spreaders and talk a little bit about seeding, overseeding. We can get into all that kind of stuff. But one of the things the great people at Spiker wanted to do for you guys, for our watchers, is they want to give away a couple spreaders. One is going to be that 50-pound spreader. I think it was the P50 or something, 250, something they call that.
You want to know which one it is? It's the same one that I have. So go to my Instagram page and look at it, and that's the one. I put it in my story. I had gave a little teaser. Like, oh, you want to know how to win this spreader?
Yeah.
I want the hand job one.
Yeah.
And Jill.
Nice handies always.
Always so what else are they giving away? They're giving away a 50-pound
and the
spreader
and the
handheld.
Yeah. So come join the live chat next week for a chance at that. You'll see our stories going all crazy about it this week. So definitely follow along for more details. But shout out to the awesome people at Spiker for
that's pretty awesome.
This giveaway. That's awesome.
Yep. And they're going to give away. Yeah. I mean, giving away, especially one of those handheld spreaders, right? Like, Brian, you have one. Oli, you got one too, right? You got one of those little handheld jobs.
Yes, sir. It works really good for like in your flower beds.
Yep.
I use it to put down my pre-emergent before mulching.
Or if you don't
That's
have
smart,
3 acres, it works for your yard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah. No, and like I said, it's good quality. I've had Scott's before. It's jammed up on me, got fertilizer underneath a little spinner thing, but this one, man, it just keeps on ticking. So I enjoy the quality of it for sure.
Don't they advertise it as like ice and sidewalks?
Yep, you can do
Oh,
ice.
yeah.
I actually spread ice melt with it this winter too. So
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
I've done ice melt and fertilizer in it. Worked out quite nice. So
Oh, there's
Yeah.
always times.
Yeah, I was trying to find. That's the thing I built right there.
that's your
That's pretty awesome.
dethatcher.
Yeah. It looks kind of what looks like
Yeah,
a
looks similar to
upgraded
that.
version of what I'm using.
Yeah.
So Oli, I want to
80.
see a reel or a TikTok of you using the Sun Joe on your yard, and then like
Yeah.
a drone footage of it kind of going up and seeing how much you're gonna have to use that Sun Joe on.
That'd be funny.
That'd be pretty funny.
Yeah.
That'd be funny.
You should do it where, yeah, you get like, you're like halfway into the yard. So as you're
Yeah.
pulling out, you can see this one little line of you in your massive yard. Like, oh, he's going to be out there all week. That would be funny.
That would be
I tried to make. I got the video. I need to put it up, but I made one the other day when I was on the permagreen spraying that molasses, and I had the drone tracking me, and you see me get the old shit face because it looks like it's going to fly into the power lines.
Like, oh,
Because it was
no.
on that auto track, because I don't ever
Yeah.
have anybody helping. I was like, God almighty, I had to sort of stop, and then I kept going, and it changed and come behind me. But it had me scared.
That's funny. Oh, problems I don't have.
I want to get a
right.
drone so bad.
I know, that would be so cool. That's awesome.
I like it. It's good for a lot of stuff. You can see if you got junk in your gutters. You can,
Oh, yeah.
catch.
That's what I tell my wife.
sure.
Yeah.
It's got
So
a
we
lot
can
of
keep
good,
an eye on the gutter.
a lot of good stuff. If you're a deer hunter, you can go scouting. You don't have to walk back there. It's got a lot of good purposes.
Kind of
maybe if
pull-
I tell my wife, like, all right, it can follow the kids around when they ride their bikes. So we
There
can
you
keep
go.
an eye on them.
Yeah.
Watch
At least
That's a
for-
good way
at
to
least
sell
for
it.
the first 15 minutes before the batteries die.
Mine's good for about 27 minutes max.
How many
pretty
batteries
good.
do you have? Just one?
Pretty good.
I got several. That way, if you really messing with something, you can stay after it.
Nice. My dad has one, and he brought it back. It was last October. Brought it to the neighborhood, and we took some pictures. That's how Drunk Lung Guy found out who I was and that we were neighbors, because he saw our neighborhood picture in there and stuff. So I like it.
cool.
I think drones are pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
The bad thing is you'll wish you had it when you don't. Like today, I was coming home and it was a killer sunset. So I fly in the driveway. I get the baby out of the car seat, set her down, run in the house, grab the drone, get it fired up. Sunset's gone.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was just a ball of fire, and it would have been wicked because
That's awesome.
once you get up 300-400 feet, you can get a whole nother spectrum of it, and it was too late.
That's awesome. Yeah. Well, unfortunately, some of the guys that are missing tonight had plans too. They've got their fall plans. I saw Nate was he's doing 365 SS. Looks like he's going to put some of that down. Sean's got that little 5-pound bag of it that he got from Tuckahoe, the platinum version of it that he wants to sprinkle a little in his yard. So I don't know any of us that are doing a full reno. I don't think any of us are doing a full reno. I think it was just a little bit overseeding here, maybe a little bit of leveling there. Bill, you've got a yard from HE double L hockey stick.
Yeah.
So
It
I don't
would
wanna
be
call it
cool
like
if
a-
you showed how to like do a renovation in quotes without killing everything, and like you actually got that back to like looking decent with just killing
Yeah.
some weeds and overseeding.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty sweet.
I'm excited to see what I can do. Who knows? I'm nervous. I'm excited. But yeah,
Did
I
you say
mean,
you're doing
so
a soil
much.
test? Are you going to do a soil test on it?
I thought about it. I have some fertilizer already that I plan on putting down, so I don't know if the soil test would necessarily change my plans. I might just wait, just see what I can do with what I got this year, and then do the full-on soil test next year. But I might do one just to see if I'm obviously deficient somewhere. First thing I have to do is get these sprinklers set up so I can get some moisture into the soil and actually pull a plug. Oh man, it's dry. It's so dry. I'm out there mowing, like dust is kicking up everywhere. It's a mess.
I think there's a lot of people in the chat talking about when you're going to actually reveal this new lawn that you're working with instead of just kind of little snippets here and there of edging and all that stuff. So
I got a video. I'm working on the editing of a couple of them to get going. I want to put out some videos. It just takes so long. Those guys that make those YouTube videos, like, good Lord, when you got 3 kids, family and work and everything, when do you find the time to sit at the computer and do all that? And I'm just trying to make like a 30-second how-to video. It's not even like a full-on 10-minute YouTube,
Now, is this new one bigger than the old lawn?
It's a little bit bigger. So it's got like a side yard area that kind of opens up. That's not really my property, and I won't be cutting it and maintaining it, but it's got a side yard that I think would stripe pretty good if the sun's sitting just right, and if I can get the grass looking good. The front's real small. There's a lot more like little details, there's more obstacles to edge around and trim around. And when I was out there, I was like, man, this takes a lot longer. Like I could imagine somebody like Ollie or Zach with your massive yards, it's just the sheer amount of time. And if you're trying to run around with a tripod and set it up and get different angles and stuff the whole time, you'd be out there all day, 2 days, even all weekend. Really, you could. So
when you try to video and do that stuff, it takes a heck of a lot longer.
Oh man!
And then you wish you had somebody there to help you out. And, you think, dang, if I had somebody here, I'd come by.
I need to hire a cinematographer to get out there and just follow me around. Oh man!
I stuck the GoPro on front of the permagreen the other day, and I was getting off changing stuff, and neighbors were like, because they seen the TikTok videos that took off, and they're like, man.
That reel that I did the other day, talking back to Rooted, I wanted to do it with somebody filming me. I had like a whole like vision for it, and I just
were you at a golf course?
Yeah, we got a golf course right out back of my office, so a lot of times I go out there and just take phone calls and walk around on the 9th hole.
Yeah, somebody commented that you like shortcut grass in the chat. I don't remember who it was, but they were talking about your film that you did.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it was that thing. Yeah, it's pretty sweet course. It's a pretty sweet course. But I'll just walk out back of my office and just kind of walk right onto like the 9th green and just walk around back there and admire the turf. Just kind of like, oh yeah.
They have there or no?
What's that?
What type of seed? You know what type of seed they have there or no?
No, I don't know. I don't know what all they've got. I haven't talked to the greens guys yet.
Your boy Ryan used to work there, no, or something like that. Ryan, or I don't know what he's saying.
He worked at that golf course?
I think so. No.
No, not that course. No, that's a different course. You're thinking of my buddy Kevin. Yeah, Kevin, who used to be with Royal Night Agriculture. Now he runs a research farm. I want to have him on soon. Let me ask everybody in the chat. So my buddy Kevin used to work for Royal Night Agriculture here in New Jersey. But he's a turf grass management guy, went to Rutgers, worked on golf courses and stuff like that. Now he runs a turf grass research farm in South Jersey. Everybody in the chat, would you guys be interested in hearing from somebody that runs a research farm? If so, just let us know in the chat, and we could probably hook that up sometime this fall, because he'd definitely be down with coming on. So
what's he researching? What's he doing?
He's doing research into
I know he has some good plans for sure.
I know right now he's doing research into kind of like soil wetting agents and moisture retention in turf grasses and stuff like that. So that's something that he's working on right now. But I think they have a couple different things. So I know that they're just working on different varieties, seeing what's going to grow good. And I think that they're just running different varieties from a bunch of different seed manufacturers. But I know the big thing that he's working on right now that he's studying is like different wetting agents and moisture retention and things like that. So I think it'd be pretty rad to kind of hear about just what's it like working on a research farm day to day. And
Oh yeah, that'd be cool, like to get a whole different angle on it. I mean, we've gotten cool perspectives in all different areas of the lawn care industry, and to get somebody in the research side kind of actively doing it and kind of get their perspective and what they're, I don't know, that'd be a really cool guest, I think, for sure.
Yeah, it looks like everybody in the chat's pretty down with it. So we'll talk amongst ourselves. We'll schedule out a time, because we've said it before. We kind of schedule it out. We have the show kind of scheduled out right now, at least for the next number of weeks, if not the next 2 months. So we'll see what we could do for the fall. I think that he might be a really good kind of off-season guest when everybody's lawn's going to sleep and we don't have a whole lot to talk about. It'd be kind of interesting to be like, hey, what are you researching this year? And, what's on the horizon, for turf grass? What's on the horizon for, varieties? What do you know about INTEP right now? And, kind of pick his brain. So I think that might be a good one for late fall. What do you?
Or
any kind of education, any kind of learning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's my
Definitely.
type of,
I got a fella that I'm hoping it'll come on that I've met with here lately that works a lot with the seed cultivars. And he has developed some type of, and I'm supposed to have a Zoom meeting or something with him and see, but he has developed some type of tool or some type of system for picking out cultivars instead of sitting there looking at the trials where it's like, okay, this cultivar is a 6, this cultivar is a 7.3, blah, blah. And you sit there and look at all them numbers. Next thing you know, you cross-eyed. He has made a deal to where, all right, I want a grass that is the darkest. Well, it'll go in and it will pick out the ones that scored the high as far as the darkest. Or if you want something that is, just wear tolerant, it'll pick out which ones rank the highest in wear tolerant. And it sounds pretty cool. I'm looking forward to
Yeah, definitely.
Is it like an interactive search tool or something where you can kind of put in some parameters and then it tells you what's the closest cultivar to what you're looking for? Because that would be super helpful. That was what Mark was talking about, is those NTEPs are super hard to to read through.
Yes,
all the trial data.
Numbers.
That'd be super awesome. Yeah.
Well, this fella, that's his job, is picking out the top, contenders and then putting them in their bags and selling it. That's his job. That's what he does every day. And it seems to be pretty cool. So,
pretty interesting.
And I think they would be willing to come on and shoot the bull and show how it works and stuff.
Or
interesting.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
who's watching, if you guys have something in mind, because like Brent said, we have our schedule set up, but if you guys want to speak on a certain topic or something like that, put it down below. We can look at it. We can start doing our research with who we can work with, and we'll go from there. So
yeah, we do. We have some really cool episodes coming up. Really cool guests. We got a big thing planned for mid October. And but yeah, I mean, we're pretty booked up. But I mean, if there's something you guys want to see, or if there's something, if there's someone who you think should come on, let us know. We'll see what we can do.
All right. Well, I guess this was our fall 2021 plans, guys. Appreciate all those that jumped in the chat and talked to us about your plans. I always look forward to going back and reading the live chat again. There's a lot of stuff that we missed, but we appreciate you guys coming in.
Congratulations, Kenny. Lawn of the week, brother.
Yep. Lawn of the week.
Yep. Looking good, my man.
We will see you guys next week.
Next week, Spiker Spreaders.
Spiker.
Giveaways.